Hello and welcome to the political fight back begins. And the way we win is we get Great Britain on the blockchain because all legal and political influence stem from economic power. I have with me today Robin Hood, so let's cue the intro.
We have before us the opportunity to forge a new world order.
We will be looking at what contact tracing looks like in the new world order.
Not only fight for Ukraine, we fight for this new world order.
And the leader of the opposition and the deep state.
This is exactly what this government wants. It's communism 101.
For the new world order.
Here we go. Robin Hood, are you there?
I am.
Excellent.
And thank you for having me back.
Always a pleasure, mate. Right, what are we talking about today?
Well, like I said, when you go into the magistrates or county courts, we're now getting fully aware that they're not actually courts, they're tribunals, which is a completely different thing. There's no law in there. They're working from what they say is a universal jurisdiction of commerce, commercial, equity, you name it. It is just an absolute load of nonsense. The judges are tribunal officers only, and under the rule of law, the tribunal office, an officer, has to have a personal and private contract with you so that you agree with the jurisdiction of the tribunal. And they don't have it. They have to have written consent from you. Nothing in law can be presumed. It has to be fact.
Yeah.
So if the tribunal centre and the tribunal office and the officers within the court are all administrative, with no authority whatsoever, without your written consent, without a written contract with the court and with the corporations, in your personal and private capacity as a true man of nature, and there's no court. And what they're doing now is using what's called presumptions and presumed authority, because they've made you believe that you're the all caps fiction, which is called persona personam, and that's nonsense, absolute nonsense. So you cannot be two things, can't be three things, but they would have you believe that you are three things, that you are the man, you are the persona, and you are the personam. All nonsense. You're the commercial entity. You've signed a contract unknowing with a corporate entity. They then want to try and...
When was that done?
Impact. Well, there's many scopes of what they're doing, right? So it's your birth certificate.
Yep.
Because you now are the child of the state, right?
Yep.
Then you've got the registration conversion, right? So every time you register to vote, you register for your council tax, you register and claim anything, you register for driving license, passports, you're registering as a corporate slave. Right? And it's as simple as that. So when you go into court, you need to ask the 8 questions. Now, obviously, I've sent you these questions. Hope you've got them ready for the on screen. And I'll go through them one by one. I'll explain the difference that these have got and how the modern legal system is a complete and utter fraud. It's not law anymore. It's all based on presumption. It's all based on fear. And there's not one fact in evidence. Not one. There's nothing at all ever signed in front of a magistrate. The officers of the tribunal are not under oath, they're not under commission, and they're not under the law of the land. Now, people will say, law of the land, that's gone, it's all this. And no, it's not. It's there. It's the highest law. Right? It's stated as fact. It's constitutional hierarchy. The Constitution is still on the statute books. Betty Boothroyd, 1993, stated it as fact. You cannot change one word of the Constitution. You can't change a paragraph, you can't change its meaning. But what has the government done? It has given itself its own authority. It has stolen the imperial crown of the people. It now says we don't need your authority to do anything. You voted us in, we didn't. You've done this, you've done that. No, we didn't, because it was never disclosed, never thinked. To us on what they were doing and what the government has criminally done by seeking to give itself more and more authority, so the plebeian society can no longer function without the state. And that's what they class us as. We are the plebs.
Yep.
If you look at what's going off now within the courts, within the systems, we're now all bringing the judges to bear. We're now bringing them, we want your bonds, we want your sureties, we want everything that you should have registered with the court. You no longer have that. Every judge must have his oath registered with the court it's in. It's non-negotiable. They should have their bonds for jurisdiction. Non-negotiable. You've seen me in there. They don't have their bonds. They refuse to answer.
Yeah.
They want you to confirm that you're the resident, the administrative fiction.
Yep.
And once you tell them to go forward in sharp jiggly movements, they then lie and say you didn't turn up at court. But you're there. You've challenged their jurisdiction, you've challenged their authority, and you've challenged them in their personal and private capacities to disclose who they are. And they've refused.
Indeed.
So they've weaponized their legal system fraud against the people. And it states very clearly in the Companies Act how they've done it, which will be done on another podcast with yourselves and a few other people, which I am going to literally show you all the smoking gun and how true all of this is. Now, have you got the questions there that people should now ask when they walk into court?
Here we go. So these the demands 1 to 8.
Yep.
So point by point demands for tribunal, court, or single justice procedure. These demands invoke procedural safeguards under Magistrates Courts Act 1980, CPR, and common law maxims. All must be evidenced within 14 days of all proceedings will escalate to judicial review for failure to uphold the King's peace. No loss, no damage, no injuries claimed, and no crime alleged under the King's laws. Mere demand for proof. Demand 1, jurisdiction evidence. Produce full proof of subject matter and personal jurisdiction, including court/tribunal authority to hear any claim against the natural man. Maxim of law being a jurisdiction must be proven, not assumed. No presumption
if we stop
permitted.
There,
yep.
So if we stop there, that is clear and precise. That is now the court or the tribunal centre now have to prove jurisdiction. Now, how many times you've been to court with me and they failed to do it? How many times have we seen the courts fail to uphold the law?
Well, yeah, they can't do it.
So can't. Right? This is not just us. This is get off your asses and go watch it. No jurisdiction is ever proven because they can't prove it. They have no jurisdiction. All the courts were abolished in 1972, Local Governments Act, Section 228. States all common law courts of record are now abolished, and administrative tribunal centres replace them. That's magistrates and county.
Oof, when was that written in? That's high treason. That's repugnant to the Constitution.
1972, when we joined the EEC. It's the only way they could get us in.
Oof.
They're terrified, and we have been slowly but surely removed our sovereignty. We are the power, not Parliament, not the police, right? They've forgotten this. We have allowed them to slowly increase their authority above us.
Well, they've got
And
the
it's
economic
all
power to do
treasonous.
so. Yeah, absolutely.
No, it was ignorance. It's not economic power. It's ignorance, our ignorance. We were all, yes, oh yeah, that sounds fabulous. Yeah, we'll go in there, we'll make a load of money. What did Edward E. say in 1974? It will not change your sovereignty. He swore up and down the country. He swore up and down on TV stations. It's all over YouTube. And what do we find? Because we've joined the EEC, we have no more sovereignty. Parliament holds the sovereignty. Lies, fraud, treasonous behaviour. Constructive treason, constructive fraud from the beginning.
Yep.
So here we go. So we've now got point one. If the judge or tribunal fail, that's their case dismissed. They have no choice in law. If we go to point two.
Point two. Certificate of service or of disclosure within the 14-day limit for allegations of wrongdoing. Provide certificate of service confirming full disclosure of all documents, evidence and the witness statement per CPR 31.4 and Magistrates Court Rule 1981 reference 67. Failure voids proceedings.
So now we've got them on CPR rules. So if they have not got a certificate of service, such as they tell us to record everything to your door, do they not, and cite it, and then the court, the police, whoever have to sign for it, yeah? Mm-hmm. They then still ignore that as if they didn't receive it. Why?
Because they're frauds.
To pervert the course of justice.
Yeah.
Breach the king's peace. Okay? So now we've got them on 2 points. If you have not got a particular an evidence of service, you're out of time. This case must be now dismissed.
Brilliant.
Prove it. The burden of proof is on you that claim I got served and I didn't. And within 14 days of the alleged wrongdoing. If we move to point three.
Point three, independent witnesses, independent witness statement. All witnesses or witness statements must be independent, given before a justice of the peace, under oath and Crown Commission authority. Sworn affidavits required, unsworn statements inadmissible.
Right, so who's now swearing in a statement against you? The state. Therefore, it's biased. Cannot make a statement against you. Why? Because the state is conducting and it's profiteering from you. So how can that be fair in trial? Because you're going against the state. So the state's now made a statement about you committing a wrongdoing and then taking you to a state court tribunal where they're going to convict you because they've got a fraudulent false statement. Now, two things in that thing there. It must be sworn in front of a justice of the peace. Now, To be a justice of peace, you have to be sworn in under commission. Point one. You have to be signed off by a Crown agent. It's there in the rules of law. What happened in 1979? Tosh it? To the Crown agents.
I can't remember the date, but I know the Crown agents were moved on to the Companies Act at one point.
They were all repealed. They were all abolished. They were moved to the Corporate State Companies Act, 1985. They're now running from that act under 2006 Companies Act. So we've no Crown agents anymore. No King's agents. No Crown agents. The Crown is important because the Crown is us. They have to swear an oath to the people, not the state. That's where they're all under attestation or attestation. It's all nonsense. They have to be under oath to be a commissioned officer by the Crown, the people. They're not. So now, not only have we got them biased, making false statements, perjury, and corruption, because it's their licensed call. The courts are licensed, the police are licensed, the departments are licensed. They're all of the same gang. Not one of them's under oath or under commission. So they're not working for the people. So they can't provide it. Case fails again. What's next one?
Next one is demand 4. Judge's bond or surety. Disclose the judge/magistrate's bond or surety for jurisdictional claims. If I am damaged by the ultra vires action, claims will be brought against the judicial officer personally under Senior Courts Act 1981, Section 129. No oath or bond, surety disclosure triggers a full judicial review and criminal charges for breaching the King's peace.
I think that's extremely self-explanatory.
Yeah.
No oath, no commission, and no disclosure once required to by law. And it's there. It's not me saying it. It's there in Sectional Magistrates Courts Act.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's there on rules.
Brilliant.
So now we've got them under full judicial review, and we now bring the judge, magistrate, whatever they want to call themselves, benches that they call them now, and we put a claim against them. Personally, we put a claim against the court because they're all under the court license sureties.
And when you say you put a claim in, whereabouts do you put a claim in against them?
Well, this is now where we've got the thing on them. We now put it in writing that we want the thing from the judicial review. We want the judge to stand trial, perjury, practicing law from the bench when he's no authority to do so.
Yeah. But where did we put that? Where did
Bringing
we put
harm and injury. That's in the judicial review. We then got to ask the court for its license and insurance, and they've got to respond within 28 days. Or you bring them to the court and demand it under judicial review. Failing to disclose is a criminal act, and the court manager then is sent to prison. It's their duty to ensure that the court and the paperwork is correct, and they're committing fraud, uttering, deception, coercion by issuing this paperwork, knowing it to have no commissioned authority.
Got you.
None. So they're screwed again. Let's move on.
Demands 5. Evidence. So this is to do with driving. Evidence of who was driving. Provide sworn evidence with facts providing identity of any driver or attending agent, including certification, authority, and chain of command. And no hearsay, direct proof only. Maxim is actus non facit. reum nissis mens sit rea. The act does not make a person guilty unless the mind is also guilty. Intent must be proven.
Again, prove I was the driver. The car may be registered to me. In law, because the car's registered to you, you may not be the driver. Right? They claim that we have to tell them who was driving. No, we don't. Rice v. Connolly, and then you've got GDPR. Then you've got data protection.
Yep.
Right? Until you can show me that you're a proper police constable under law, under commission, under the correct law and authority, you're a third-party interloper that's acting for your own personal profit. The burden of proof is now with you. Prove you have the authority to enforce this request. And they can't. They'll go on legislation, they'll go on this, they'll go on that, they'll go on the other. I didn't ask that. I asked to prove that you are who you say you are. The burden of proof is on you. Because under the 1996 Police Act, Section 1, the chief executive is classed as the corporate soul. And as to the policing college, every police officer is not employed by the excuse me, sorry about that, guys. He's not employed by the police force. They're basically a micro corporation within the corporation. And they've been given authority to act at their own discretion. But if they cock up, it's on them, not the government, because they are not employed by the government. So who's employing them? And if they're not employed by the government, who are they? Where have they got their authority from? Because let's remind everybody that's listening, the Cartona principle is very clear. Power cannot be delegated. The Cartwright principle is also very clear. You cannot designate a power or authority, not even by acts and statutes. It doesn't work like that.
Got ya.
So this is now where the police force are in awful, awful mess. Because they're not under commission, they're not under oath, and they have now broken the people's trust. End of. Absolutely end of. Now they are, as to the College of Policing, liable themselves. The corporate soul, the chief executive, the PCC, who's the same rank, are now liable. And have a guess who is supposed to be the oversight for these criminals? The local mayor.
Really? No way.
Yep. So they now weaponize this corporate police force against us. They shut us down. They kick our doors in. No warrants. They don't even know what a warrant looks like anymore. The incompetency, the disgraceful behaviour in our police force, or their police force, is outrageous now. And we've got evidence and proof from multiple sources now. They are altering their own cameras footage. They're using AI to alter what's gone off. Yep.
That is outrageous. That is outrageous.
Yeah, there's going to be 3 or 4 big cases coming up shortly.
Wow. Wow.
Because they're using AI to digitally alter the camera footage.
Oof.
These police officers are absolutely, there's no wonder they're out of control. And every time you turn on the TV or you go onto YouTube or whatever other facility we try and get news from now, there's a councillor, MP, police officer, or a other of an official capacity involved in crimes against humanity, the people, and they don't go to prison. Or if they do, they get lost. They get less, they get less than if you post a hurty words comment.
And this is
which is a protected humanitarian principle of law and senior treaties.
And this will be why they're wanting people's biometric data, facial recognition and fingerprints. So if they're doing all this with AI... Well, yeah, but this is why they
can't have it.
I know, but this is why they want it.
Yeah, but they can't have it. This is what's making me laugh at the minute. The Chief Constable of the Met Police has just gone to the High Court and got a decision, right, from the High Court. Now, I'm hoping that, from what I understand, that another group's taking him to the Supreme Court again. Now, there's four massive case laws, and I have them. 2020, the Supreme Court ruled against South Wales Police Force facial recognition cannot be used. 2008, Human Rights Court, no facial recognition. None. So now we've reached 2 senior court. The judge now at High Court needs to be crapping himself, because that needs to be judicial reviewed, and he needs to be sued by every member of the people, the public, for allowing and trying to bring a disobedient to statutes, disobedient to superior ruling. The lower court cannot overrule the Supreme Court, and it certainly can never overrule the United Nations. Sorry, not the United Nations. The European Courts on Human Rights. Can't do it. It is a subservient court. They've made it that way, not us. And the superior courts, 2 of them, have said no facial recognition. What have they been doing on the sly? They've been putting all these surveillance cameras up.
The
police are now getting bombarded with claims for breaching facial recognition. And this is what the high courts now are trying to cover up for the lower courts, for the police forces. Because everybody's suing them now for theft of biometrics through the superior courts, and they think this is going to go away. Is it chuff? Because if this other people drop out, we'll step in. The realm of England will step in and go, no. Superior Court. This judge has now overruled your superior decision 6 years ago. It's overruled the 2008 authority of the Human Rights Court. This is a breach of our peace, of our liberty, and our privacy. This is arbitrary authority. Our judges in the High Court are now an absolute disgrace. We've just had it where the senior master of the roll in the High Court and 2 others have just been caught by the newspaper. The guy's resigned. One of the guys has resigned, and the other 2 are under investigation for ripping off this old couple of their bungalow and their life savings. And this judge signed off on it. Highest judge in the master of the rolls signed off on it. And he was caught in the country park. It's all over YouTube, and he's had to resign.
That's what we need.
Now they need... No, we need that. We need to bring these to bear now in a proper court of law. It needs to be put before a jury, and it needs to be put on record that they can no longer do this. Until that happens, until we start seriously going after these people, it's going to stay the same. We need more judicial reviews. We need the absolute now on bringing charges against the judges, the legal advisors. The legal advisors are actually registrars within the court to do the illegal conversion.
Got ya.
Right, so we'll go on to the next one.
I've got it here. Number 6. No presumption, all facts proven. No presumed facts, contracts or jurisdiction. Every element must be proven beyond doubt, including standing, service and debt. Legal maxim, facts cannot be presumed, they must be proved. Broom's legal maxims, omnia, that's Latin. All acts are presumed to be rightly and properly done until the contrary is proved, but only after proof demanded.
Which basically means you have to demand the evidence from the court. If they can't prove it, they have to stop the case dismissed. It dismisses itself. This is what they're not doing. This is why you've got to issue the 12 presumptions of law.
Right.
And the presumption that you are not dead, that you're not lost at sea. Rebut it all. We've got the paperwork already done. It's on the realm.
Brilliant.
Right? So you now prove these facts. The burden of proof is on you, not me. Keep your mouth shut in that court. Only read out what's there. Have you got this? The burden of proof is on this court. Nothing to do with me. Have you got it? No? Case dismissed. I now demand a case dismissed, or we're going for a judicial review. Which do you want to go for?
Brilliant.
Simple. Next question.
Demand number 7, judge's oath disclosure. The judge stroke justice of the peace must state on record their oath per Oaths Act 1961, Section 1. I do swear that I will well and truly serve our sovereign lord the king according to law. Oath certificate to be disclosed pre-hearing. Non-disclosure equals disobedience to superior statutes, triggering judicial review and charges for breaching the king's peace.
Felony treason.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Again, self-explanatory. They have to have it on record within the court. It's not a court. It's a tribunal. So now they're getting exposed.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
awesome.
It's as simple as that. Last question.
Demand number 8, additional maxim. Delegata protestas, non protest delegari. Delegate, basically, that's Latin. Delegated power cannot be further delegated. No subdelegation of authority to uncertified agents stroke third parties without express proof. Judicial review will be sought immediately for non-compliance, including criminal charges for breaching the King's peace and disobedience to superior statutes, for example, the Oaths Act 1961. Non-response within 14 days is administration of no jurisdiction. No loss, no damage, no injuries claimed, no crime alleged under the King's laws. This is a protective demand under the natural common law, constitutional safeguards and ancient customs stroke norms of England, protecting the freeman's rights against unsubstantiated claims.
Voila.
That's ace.
We end, right?
Brilliant.
Don't fall into their traps. You are not the resident. It is not you. Do you mean, and if they say, are you, is that the all caps you? Or is it the natural you? Please clarify. The burden of proof is with you. Watch them cough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? We've got to stop this now. We've got to start fighting them at their own game. And we've got to start getting in all these judicial reviews, because every time they bring anybody to court, it's a judicial review.
Brilliant.
For theft and deception and coercion by force. It is under the Terrorism Act. Right? And again, I put all the facts in the documents. I don't bring to this table a lie. Not deliberately. If I'm only human, I will make a mistake now and again, and I'll accept it. But I like to bring you the evidence that's there to prove what I'm saying.
It's phenomenal, mate. Phenomenal.
And there's the 8 questions, 8 smacks. Send it in and then read it out. No. Where's the evidence? Where's the proof? Prove I'm the driver. Prove I have to tell you anything. I don't. Without that, I'm at risk of being sued under GDPR 15. I have not got the permission of the driver to report to you a non-disclosed and non-proven officer of constable of the law. You're a private corporation. I'm not under contract to you. Prove I've got a contract with you, that I will disclose anything to you.
Got you.
And they can't. The corporate. What they're classing themselves now is they are statutory corporate entities working for the government, all in criminality. The judges, the police forces, all of them, the councils. Council tax is illegal. And I'll do another podcast with you on that one if you wish later on.
Yeah,
and I've done the paperwork, which I will share with you, all of you. And it literally stops them dead in their tracks and the courts.
Fantastic. Fantastic, mate. Probably a good time to wrap it up. That's 37 minutes.
It is.
Excellent.
Yep,
right.
perfect, mate.
Everybody enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.
My main interest in all this is
Yeah,
to
you have to
preserve
do my
our
keep in mind,
democratic institutions. I want to retain the right to vote, the right to speak freely, and the right to write. If we maintain these basic principles, our democracy is safe. No dictatorship can exist with suffrage, freedom of speech and press.